Archimex login confirmed.
Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
the Lodgecast experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
The Lodgecast is a little podcast where we watch weird movies so you don't have to.
The Lodgecast, baby.
Lodgecast, gonna smoke this. Lodgecast, missing movie pass. Lodgecast.
We're gonna watch some crap.
Lodgecast.
And then the Lodge Master chats.
With Lucas and Bishki.
Episode 175. Poolman. Hello and welcome to a highly chlorinated episode of the Lodgecast. I'm your Lodge Master. With me as always,
Sorry.
Brother Bishki is away on assignment, but his heart is here and he has promised to call in his review. So don't worry. We have Brother Lucas in the back.
Cannonball!
We have Lodge Mistress Millie in the front.
Hey.
What is going on tonight? We have returning champion, Brother Justin.
I'm a pool man.
And keeping with tradition of pool-only entertainment, we have Brother Pool with us tonight.
I brought my towel.
Yes, he did,
I
folks. He
mean,
walked up with his
wow.
towel like he was
Hell
going
yes.
to the beach or the pool.
We miss Brother Bishki, but holy shit, what a star-studded ensemble we have tonight. Now, the movie is The Poolman.
No. Just Poolman.
The movie is Poolman. And much like Madam Web before it, this movie is already infamous.
Oh.
Lodge Mistress knows nothing about it, so I don't know how much we should get into what we know or what we've heard or what we've smelled about it.
All you need to know, it's Captain Kirk, Chris Pine's feature directorial debut.
And he's all in.
Well, I guess I thought it was going to be like The Beekeeper, since it's called The Pool Man.
Oh.
No, Poolman.
Pool Man. Pool Man, but that's
Yeah.
not what we're in for?
I don't think so.
No action?
Well,
Jason Statham is the pool man.
I mean, Poolman.
Yeah.
Green in this water.
No, Pool Man is different from The Pool Man.
Poolman
So,
could get into
yeah.
some hijinks.
Yeah, no, Pool Man, maybe it's an indie? I literally do not know the genre of this film.
Well, let's talk to Brother Pool about it.
Yes.
Without giving the whole game away, what are you excited about tonight?
I'm excited for, I don't know, it to be better than Night Swim.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's a tall drink of water.
I would like to point out
Order.
that it couldn't be more polar opposite a day than when we recorded Night Swim.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
It is like a beautiful summer feeling day. There's still light in the sky.
Yeah.
We're not all sick.
We had the bomb cyclone weather event.
We're not getting out at 1 a.m.
Now, Night Swim was so bad. And I see that, I forget, it's either Hulu or one of the streamers.
Night slop.
Night Slop.
Peacock?
It's out and it's like, it's been hanging in the top 3 streamed entertainments for like weeks.
Wow.
Every time I look at it,
I want more.
I'm like, who's tuning in and who, like, just a wave of disappointment just covering the entire planet with that movie.
Well, I think half of everyone subscribed to Peacock did it just to watch reruns of The Office.
Right.
So they'll probably watch whatever's new.
They'll come for The Office and they'll take a little dip in the Night Swim. So, yeah, this movie probably won't be around next week. So
It's in one theater. I think this is the only theater it's in,
This is
for
the
real.
only game
It opened in like
town.
800 theaters, maybe?
Oh, and I saw that Piney's been showing up in character to different theaters.
In
so
character.
I don't know if a Monday night is enough Pine bait.
Is this a comedy? What genre is it?
We're gonna find out together as a family. This is a little bit of a
pool
trap.
party.
It's a pool party.
It's a pool party.
Lodge Mistress, don't feel bad. I also don't know, but don't want to know.
Oh, good, Justin.
All I know is that the reviews have been, let us just say, not exactly kind.
Okay.
Right.
Which has caused Chris Pine to publicly address them,
No.
where he is doubling down on joy.
So let's take that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I walked into Night Swim and I'm like, we need to find some love and light in here. Let's really try to find some love and light. Chris Pine believed in
Yes.
whatever the fuck this was.
Chris Poolman Pine.
Let's try to channel that. Let's try to see what he was seeing.
And just know, I think that this was a COVID like thing where he was in quarantine. He cooked this whole movie up because he needed something to do with his time.
It's COVID madness.
So this is born of that era.
All right. Well, let's climb those sacred steps. Get a fucking pool man drink if they have one.
Get our floaties on. Put our zinc on our nose and dive right in.
Brother Pool, please bless this mess.
I bless.
Let's do it. Love and light.
Love and light.
Everybody out of the water.
Adult Swim.
Oh, Brother Pool Man, your towel's looking a little dry.
It is dry. It is bone dry.
But before we get into what we just witnessed, we have to give a special thanks to our Venmo contributor of the week. Woo! And it's our first repeat contributor.
Wow.
Brother Dennis. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Brother Dennis.
Thank you, brother.
Dennis.
Thank you. We love you. I got a hot dog tonight at AMC.
You paid for the Hothead's hot dog. And you also paid for the pool man's ticket to the pool man.
Thank you.
Brother Dennis, you're the man.
And just for the record, a Monday night full freight ticket for what we just
oh my
witnessed.
God. What was it?
$19. Holy shit.
Actually, cheaper than I thought, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof. So
is Avatar like $39.50 or what's the price structure here?
It should be a sliding scale. So thank you, Brother Dennis. And another fine point to make. Your last contribution paid for Night Swim. So you are funding Brother Poolman.
Oh, man, you guys are connected.
Yes.
So thank you, Dennis.
To my sponsor.
If you would like to contribute and receive all of this love and pay for these dubious films for us, you can reach us on Venmo at Movie Lodgecast. So check it out.
Thank you again, Brother Dennis. We love you.
With that said, Virtual Bishki, let's get this on.
Virtual.
Bishki! What's that shot?
From Rotten Tomatoes, in Chris Pine's feature directorial debut, Poolman tells the story of Darren Barrenman, Pine, a native Angelino who spends his days looking after the pool of the Tahitian Tiki apartment block and fighting to make his hometown a better place to live. When he is tasked by a femme fatale to uncover the truth behind a shady business deal, Darren enlists the help of friends who take on a corrupt politician and a greedy land developer. This is getting less and less like Bishki. I apologize. It's turning into a super fan.
Just center yourself with Pine.
Pine. His investigation reveals a hidden truth about his beloved city and himself. The film also stars Annette Bening, Danny DeVito, Jennifer Jason Leigh, DeWanda Wise, Stephen Tobolowsky, John Ortiz, and Ray Wise.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
That's a mouthful.
Oh, Pine.
Pine.
So the thing that we were holding back from you, Sweet Lodge Mistress, was that this premiered at the Toronto Film Festival.
Okay.
And it was immediately infamous because of all the walkouts.
No.
So that was kind of what it was known for. Some of the critical reviews coming out of the festival were complete and utter catastrophe. And somebody said that it might be the worst film to ever play at a major festival.
Wow.
So this thing got kicked right out of the gate.
Wow.
And I noticed the distributor logo burn was Vertical Entertainment, which is not known for their like glossy A-list or Oscar-winning movies. I think they're like the Bruce Willis VOD movies, maybe?
Well, and speaking of walkouts, the man in front of us did walk out, never to return.
Well, now hang on. He took a long nap first.
Oh, did he? He was sitting next to Justin. Another human being in the theater was decidedly not napping. In fact, he was sitting in a way that I had never seen
tortured
him sit before. And I, of course, am talking about the hothead. And how do I explain this? He was sitting forward with his arm bent at a 90-degree angle, hand on knee, like he was ready to launch up out of his seat at any moment.
Yeah, he was like on trial.
And I turned to the lodge mister. I'm like, look at Lucas. Something's about to go down. Something's about to happen. And sure enough, he arose. He strode out of the theater. And I knew he wasn't coming back. I've seen that walk. I've been to Bad Boys for Life with this man. I knew he wasn't coming back.
Which, by the way, we saw the Bad Boys Ride or Die trailer, and I was eating my hot dog when Will Smith was like,
"Thank you, Brother Dennis.
Just go in there and get water like nothing else." And then Martin Lawrence was like, "Can I get one of these hot dogs?" And Brother Poole was like, "Just like you." And I was like, mouthful, like, "I can't wait to do this movie."
Yeah, you were syncing up. So... Brother Lucas walked out, I would say halfway through the film.
It felt like an hour. It felt like more than an hour. I gave it enough time.
But to your credit, when I turned my phone back on, there was a nice little message from Lucas. Let me read it. Let me read it aloud.
Put on your glasses.
I gotta say, I was not having a great time for a while there.
Yeah.
And figuring out if Lucas was going to come back was riveting.
That was like the main plot thread of the movie that I was following.
Yeah, because I timed it for a while. I'm like, okay, he could have peed by now.
No,
and then a couple more minutes went by. I'm like, that's a 10-2 right there. Another couple minutes. I'm like, could have gotten popcorn. And then it became very clear that he was not coming back.
This is the text I received. Too much chlorine. Had to get out of the pool. Going to islands for pina colada. Meet you in the Edge at 9 p.m. Now, he could have just gone home, but he went to islands.
Yeah.
And he fucking chilled and waited for us. So
I'm sorry I bailed. It was like
what put you over the edge, Lucas?
Well, maybe let's build up to it, and then Lucas can tell us what the point of no return was.
Yeah.
We're putting off talking about Poolman. I got to talk about one of the trailers because I got to call it. It is a movie called Summer Camp.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it is going to take the Palms 80 for Brady spot this year. It's Kathy Bates. It's Diane motherfucking Keaton. And they are fucking at summer camp. And Eugene Levy's there. One of the worst edited trailers I've ever seen. Poolman was my most anticipated movie of the year. Now it's Summer Camp, 100%.
You applauded that trailer, which was funny,
I did.
And we all laughed. It's just how bad, because there was a cutaway of some guy going, "Do it for friendship, or do it for love." And we all were just so cynical. We just blurted out laughing.
Really weird trailer, and I had to clap. So, Poolman. This is a movie like no other. First off, Lodge Mistress, we were wondering what genre
Yeah,
it was.
that really was the question of the night.
So what is it?
I kept wondering.
What is it now?
Throughout the film. I think it's like an indie comedy.
Comedy noir? Sunbaked noir?
It can't. It sort of transitioned into Sunbaked noir, but it didn't start there. It was like a Terrence Malick film at some points. It was a noir film. It was like comedy.
Shot of a tree, a magic hour, and a dream.
It was bonkers.
It starts out of the gate with Pine's VO, and immediately you're like, I got to get away from this guy.
Yeah.
I got to get away from this guy.
He seemed like a bad actor, although I think it was an acting choice, but he just seemed like a bad
He seemed
actor.
like Charlie from Flowers for Algernon.
Yes,
but we missed the part where the doctor was
that
like
hurts.
letting him out of the hospital, you know? Like,
Right, we're missing some
we missed
crucial
that
details.
Backstory.
You realize that this whole thing is from the mind of Pine. He directed it, he co-wrote it, he stars in
Got Pine Sol all over it.
So you're all up in that Pine.
Pine soul,
You got
not pine soul.
you got that pine sap all over your face, all over your fingers. And so you realize everybody in the movie is going to talk like he's talking.
Oh.
And it's a wall, it's a cacophony of just sound.
Just herky-jerky, like, let me sell the emotion to you extra thick.
And you see Annette Bening show up, you see Danny DeVito show up, and you think those are like life preservers.
Like every scene is like a poorly written audition scene at the last
But
minute.
they're all
for the class to
speaking
do.
they're all speaking Pinese
On top of each other.
on top of each other, and you can't get a grip of what's going on.
It was like being in a plane hitting those G-forces, you know, where like you start getting
Yes.
sick and like the
And your
hot dog
face just contorts.
Yes.
My face was contorted as I was watching this. I was like, I was like the emoji where it's covering its face and like looking through its fingers.
The barometer for me to get out was the hot dog in my belly slowly working its way back up out my like gullet in my mouth. Like that's how I knew I had to get out.
We like to give you flack for leaving. It's a fun sport.
But this one,
it did occur to me. I'm like, you know what? The Phantom Menace is back in theaters for its 25th anniversary.
Yes.
If I leave right now, there is a chance I could just stroll into the theater right as the lightsaber fight at the end is happening.
Oh, perfect. And I've set precedents when Emily and I walked out of Homeschool Awakening to go watch the Golden Girls special engagement.
I did like sort of the opening where he was
not talking at the very beginning, cleaning the pool silently.
Cleaning the pool. I enjoyed it.
That was nice.
I really liked it. I was like, this isn't going to be so bad.
Yeah.
Classical music. Yeah.
It was
the
cool.
zenness
And
of
then he
it.
started fucking writing his letters to Aaron Brockovich.
To Aaron fucking Brockovich.
He writes a letter a day to Aaron Brockovich.
On a typewriter.
On a
'cause it's
typewriter.
presumably the late 90s, early 2000s.
It was a mix of time period.
No
Who
idea.
knew?
And the voice is something akin to, "Hi, Aaron. I'm doing this today, and I just cleaned the pool, and I'm doing this, and I'm looking into that. How are you doing today?" And you're just like, stop. You're like, stop. You just were cleaning the pool in a zen way, and now you're fucking skull fucking our eyeballs.
It's what the old acting teachers called playing at it. You know?
He was playing at it. He was fucking getting at it. Now, Brother Poolman, which is your name now, you're
accepted.
Oh wait, when Brother Pool walked into the
Brother
theater,
Poolman.
like get his ticket scanned, the ticket guy was like, "You brought your towel, all right? Like you're ready for it. You're ready for it."
What I heard was he said, "You better bring a towel."
And I was like, I did.
And then you were like, "I did," which is even more amazing. Oh yeah, Brother Pools had a towel around his neck the whole time. So, Brother Poolman, what did your tolerance is pretty high? You've gone on a night swim.
Yeah.
So, were you vibing with? Because I think he wants it to be like Big Lebowski, but he's not chill. He's manic. So you can't have that vibe.
He's doing like Jack Black, or like it feels like a bad SNL movie character, like a Corky Romano, or like he's just stupid and obnoxious to know.
The SNL skit would be like he's a pool man where like people are, having fun or getting romantic in the pool, and then he sticks his pool net in between them. He's just like, just cleaning the pool.
Yeah.
I got vibes of when they would interview Charles Manson, like in prison.
Well, he's hairy, like
he's hairy,
Manson.
and he speaks in a way where there's so much verbiage and it paints so many pictures that you can't focus on any of the pictures. Sometimes it is a little poetic, but it's going so fast that it's like, pick one of the 40 things you just said and let us like chill on that for a minute. This movie is not chill. You think it is. If you saw stills, you'd be like, that's chill.
Oh, it's totally chill. Then John Ortiz pulls out a gun, just willy-nilly, casually pointing a gun around. And I'm thinking like, dude, read the room. Like, people getting murdered in America every day by the hands of guns. And you're just like whipping one out like it's a fucking joke or something? Like, it's not cool, man.
They're also the way...
Wait, what?
Was that what? That's what put you over the edge?
Left. That was like one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, something happened. Listen, Lucas has his reasons. So yeah, I don't really know the plot of this. It seems like Chris Pine during COVID watched Chinatown and it blew his mind. And then he's like, I'm gonna do a riff on Chinatown, but I don't even know what drug made this. Maybe some designer
No
drugs.
drugs. No drugs. That was the
like,
problem.
Yeah, maybe like Adderall or something.
Adderall, yes.
But I will say at least it wears that on its sleeve as a film. It's not trying to like...
Yeah, that's why it's Poolman.
You know.
Chinatown, Poolman, Chinatown,
Yeah.
Poolman.
I feel kind of bad because Chris Pine, a handsome guy.
Yes.
But he's got his bushy beard and his hair was all weird.
Yeah.
And when he was a little beat up in the movie, he reminded me of the Matt Damon puppet from Team America
Yes.
World Police.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And
1,000%.
I couldn't get it out of my head when he would just amble into a room. That's all I heard. Matt Damon.
Wow.
Damon.
It's like, this is a slight detour, then we can get right back to this hot pool man talk. But there's 3 main Chris's in Hollywood. There's Chris Pine, Chris Pratt, and Chris Evans.
And Hemsworth.
So there's 4. So the standings right now is Pratt's usually low. He just bulldozed some old house, like architectural Marvel house to build, his own McMansion. He's usually at the bottom. Chris Pine's usually at the top. I don't know what this is going to do to his stock. Maybe no one will see this.
No one's going to see it.
I think it just gets buried and has no effect.
You think
really.
people are just like, Chris did his thing. We're not going to look that way. We'll look the other way.
I think that his peers are going to know it's a little smelly. But
it'll just be avoided in conversation,
Yeah.
I think.
That sucks. Like, he went all in. He went to the premiere at the Vista dressed as Darren Barrenman. And he's so all in, and to go all in on something like that and then have people resoundingly be like, who farted? Let me get away from you. That's gotta be a mind fuck.
I'm sure there are exceptions. None come to mind, but you shouldn't make your first screenplay. You should get a mulligan where you're trying to figure it out. You are trying to cram a lot of influences in there. There's too much talking because you don't know how to let it breathe. These are skill sets that are built over time. And when someone can just write a screenplay when they're quarantined and get the movie made, maybe it was hard for him to get it made. Maybe he had to go around town and
Danny DeVito sure fucking believed in it.
But like you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? You should you should finish one and be like, okay, I learned something here.
Yeah.
Let me start another one that's not.
Or you and your producing partner take your outline or first draft and give it to an A-list writer or like a produced writer that has like a lot of credits doing this kind of movie.
I don't know if anything could be done to Poolman.
Punch it up and have them like sweeten it and make it better.
I don't know what kind of pH balancing would fix whatever we just saw. I don't think it's salvageable. It's incoherent rambling.
Now, there is not a lot of love and light in this Edge, but I'd like to bring a little.
No, we were laughing.
Okay. But we all had fantasies about walking out. Only one of us was heroic enough to do it.
And all of our laughs happened after Lucas left because we were.
It really did pick up.
We were all just like delusional, the psychosis, like we're forced to get on some sort of crazy wavelength and had to just laugh at the absurdity of it.
Yeah, it took a while.
Jokes. There was a few good jokes, I thought.
But I will say this,
that.
for an indie no-budget movie, it got out and about.
Right.
There was some locations.
They never
were
went to
outside
Descanso
for a while.
Gardens.
God, they kept talking about the Descanso Gardens, man.
Yeah, a lot of local inside baseball in this movie. If I was watching this from Nebraska, I'd be furious.
I'd just be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are they talking about?
Double, triple
Too
furious.
many street names.
Landers, Pine and Burger.
But they got out and about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's something.
Yeah,
that is something.
it is. And like you were kind of like, why does he live in such a shitty place? And you're like, oh, because he goes out to eat all the time.
Right,
He
goes to
spends
Langers.
all his
He goes
rent
to
money on
Langers,
food.
where a fucking pastrami sandwich is $25. I used to live right by there. I'm like, what is going on here?
They're eating at the most expensive places, a few of them anyway.
Now, I know it was kind of absurd and surreal, but did it bug you guys the whole movie that he was a pool man
Yes,
for
Justin.
seemingly one little pool
Yes.
that merited its own trailer
Yes.
for him to live in? And that's such an odd choice.
It's the antithesis of what a pool man is.
I wanted a lot more pool manning.
He could have used his pool skills in this, and he didn't.
Oh, good point.
I don't understand why he didn't. He was so good at the pool
stuff was incidental.
The rich guys all had pools. He could have been
Yes, I kept
snooping on
thinking
them.
he was
Driving all over town to different neighborhood pools.
Yeah, when he
this
was
is
like-
a group live rewrite.
He told Danny DeVito to grab his stuff and they were going to go do their thing. And I thought that they were going to go do the pools. But no, they were doing a documentary.
Making a documentary.
Just weird.
And Danny DeVito's camera holding skills were...
holding the camera by the handle like that is
Canon
always bugged me.
GL1. Yeah, no thanks, man.
Now, Brother Poolman, in preparation for this endeavor,
Yes.
I had you watch Under the Silver Lake.
Ooh.
Yes.
Now, you claim to have not enjoyed that, but
Infinitely better. than
yes,
this.
right?
Infinitely better.
Come on now.
I mean, talk about a movie that gets out and about. Obviously, that budget was way bigger, but like...
There was probably more pool manning in that than there was in this.
This movie could have used more Nintendo Power magazine.
but seeing old Pine in lotus position underwater, which is the only reason that there's even a pool man aspect to this, is because he wanted that shot. But seeing him under the water really reminded me of Wyatt Russell in Night Swim under the water in that infamous chicken scene.
We got to cross-cut the two together, mash them up.
I don't know. Night Swim might have an edge over this because at least there was swimming at night, you know? It delivered on that promise at least. So there's a cabaret show of Golden Girls in drag, which was interesting.
That's a real show, by the way.
Is it?
Yes.
I figured.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pine just went to that and was like, I'm going to put that in the movie.
Yeah.
That's great.
Smart.
I'm glad he did.
Me
I'm
too.
glad he did. That was like the best part of the movie. And then he says continually after that, he's like, that was great. That
Yeah,
show I went to was great.
Yeah.
The acting was phenomenal. Lucas did not see that. What else did
that? Sorry.
So Lucas, Stephen Tobolowsky, the councilman
with the toupee.
Yes.
You think that he's in on this crazy scheme, but he was being blackmailed because they found out that he played Blanche in a drag show of the Golden Girls.
Yes, I think that's it.
And then Chris Pine tries to confront him in his dressing room, and they have a heart-to-heart.
Good scene.
Good scene. And then Tobolowsky gets shot. They frame Pine, sort of.
The stakes are non-existent.
It's not worth getting into the plot at all.
But
we're not going to talk about the Dumb and Dumber ending.
Oh, God, it was a Dumb and Dumber ending. Holy shit.
But they did have that line in that scene, a couple of lines in that scene that I really liked, when he was like, you'll find out when the article comes out on Tuesday what's going on. And Chris Pine was like, why can't I know now?
Yeah, and the whole audience is like, let's get out of here. And so they all left. And then there's another part where there's some development that doesn't matter. And DeVito talking about his documentary, he's like, we have a third act. And then we all laugh because we don't know where this movie is. And that's when we hit the third act.
That was the kiss of death for me when we sat down and it started playing. I was like, wait a minute, no one told me what the runtime was. So I didn't know how much, I didn't know where it was. I was like, I can't be here for God knows how long.
I knew it was a svelte hour 40. Milster was also curious. She's like, how long is this thing?
You're like 220.
Because you have no idea. You are unmoored from the very beginning.
Because Under the Silver Lake is long, right?
Under the Silver Lake's way longer.
So that's why I was worried. Yeah,
but this feels as long as that was.
Oh, yeah.
And like Night Swim was real short and that felt really long. So it if shit's broken, it can feel so fucking long. That's just a weird game to play with some of these films that we've faced off against.
Whew.
What else?
What else did Lucas miss?
What else?
Shout out to the tiger at June's.
That was a laugh.
I gotta give that. I gotta give that a crouton.
Yeah.
Salad crouton.
When he goes and visits the femme fatale at her
Apartment?
hotel apartment, she opens the door to let him in, and there is the wildest tapestry. It's this tiger with its eyes just like bugged out of its skull, and we all fucking lost it. Nobody else in the theater gave a shit, but we all knew that a crouton was definitely afoot right there.
When you're a half hour into a movie and that's the biggest reaction,
by far,
you have done something wrong.
That's the biggest reaction by far, was that bug-eyed tiger. Thank Christ for it as well. Oh my God, we needed it. That was our lifeline. I mean, Chris Pine, what are you doing, man? Let's go with them Poolman bones. It's only correct and customary to make Brother Poolman first to bone.
First to bone.
Thanks for the honor.
Yes.
I'm gonna give this one.
Build up to it. Romance us a little bit.
Do I have to?
Yes. Talk us through it.
All right. So yeah, I think we all kind of felt adrift in this pool, to say the least.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of glimmers of some kind of humor that came through.
Some ripples.
There were some ripples in the pool. So we were floating.
Yeah, we were floating. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's much that I could recommend.
How would you recommend this to somebody? Who would you recommend this to other than Bishke?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one a halfer.
Ooh, Roger Ebert Memorial half bone.
I hated it.
I hated this movie.
All right, well,
but I can't. I'm not gonna woof it.
It's not a woof.
It's not a woof.
Keep the dogs out of the pool for now.
Yeah, I guess I admire the gumption of of the commitment, I guess.
Yeah.
DeVito he brought a little bit of his flavor, and there's a little bit in there, but.
And the final image, some of the final images are, if you ever want to see this, if you have a very specific fetish, it's Annette Bening and Danny DeVito underwater.
Oh my God, yes.
A lot of flesh, a lot of smiles.
I mean, is that a crouton or a dragon?
Yeah.
That's a crouton.
Yeah, it's a crouton.
That's a crouton.
That was the soggiest crouton.
Very soggy, but very welcome. All right, half a bone from Brother Poolman. Let's see. Strategery. Well, let's get Brother Lucas out of the way.
Gosh, I can't wait to get my Apple Vision Pro and just lie in my room watching Annette Bening and Danny DeVito swim in a pool underwater. Yeah, on a loop.
You got to see
Enya blasting on my stereo.
You're gonna be like Tom Cruise in Minority Report.
The future, you'll be able to move him around. You'll be able to move DeVito around to your preferred eye line.
But yeah, Gal Gadot and her Imagine video and Jennifer Lopez in This Is Me Now can rest easy because Chris Pine is taking the throne from them, for this weird, deeply personal, sincere, heartfelt, almost like home movie that him and his, friends got to make in LA. Chris Pine's a local boy, born and bred in Studio City. So this is like a nice little jewel in his crown and his artistic, list of achievements.
Yeah.
I went in with love and light, even though I knew, about the TIFF screening and that he was taking the reviews pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because it was his baby and everyone was like, oh my God, your baby's hideous. Like throw it in the river, dump it, throw
it in the pool.
So I went in with love and light and the opening credits were good. They were like empirical font. It was like gold or yellow. And I was like, oh man. And then I
have no problems until he starts talking.
Yeah. And then as soon as he started talking, I was like, oh no, it's this. Like I'm trapped with this. Like, no, it's just not my vibe. And it was like, yeah, offbeat, but not in a funny way, but just tone deaf offbeat, like
manic offbeat.
Yeah, just very, very intense. But
it's like if a drummer is offbeat very insistently for a 10-minute song, you will go insane.
Yeah.
Confident.
And I was like, I was gonna tough it out, but I had a little cup of water with my brother Dennis hot dog, so I had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, all right, let's go to the bathroom. I'll take my time.
He kept going.
Come out of the bathroom. I'll get another cup of water, fresh cup of water. Yeah, drink that. I'm gonna turn my phone on. Let me check my messages. Okay, there's nothing going on. Let me get another glass of water and check out
third glass of water.
Check out the concession menu. Maybe I'll get some mozzarella sticks or some of those Impossible nuggets. And then I'm just like, man, but if I get that, can I really go back in there? And that's what I had to ask myself.
Yeah.
And I was really, really, really thinking about it long and hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really need a drink.
Yes.
I was going to go to McGuffin's, but then I'm like, man, I really just want an Islands pina colada.
You had to go off site.
Yeah.
So I had to get out, get some air, stretch my legs. I texted you, I had my drink, and was thinking about it and was like, yeah, if I were to make a Poolman movie.
Yeah. Is this a live rewrite?
This is a live rewrite.
Boom.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
It would be like a period piece, of course. It would be in the analog era. Let's get rid of cell phones and social media. And I would make my Chris Pine character, like the character he is, but he's also a drug dealer and he sells pot.
Okay.
And he drives all over LA, West Side, East Side, North Valley,
yeah, let's see some
South
of it.
Beverly, every, home, apartment, mansion, you name it. He's got all kinds of clients. And he sells them little bags of grass here and there, nothing too crazy.
Does he clean pools ever?
Yeah, he's clean. That's the whole cover. He shows up to clean pools and he leaves the weed under your, porch or something.
Tapes it under the diving board.
And there's a bunch of different plots you could do. It could be he gets mixed up, he witnesses a murder, or he gets mixed up in a love triangle.
Yeah.
Or it is neo-noir where one housewife lures him in with some kind of double indemnity insurance scheme. And then all of a sudden another house tries to lure him into a drug deal. So he's got multiple clients trying to suck him into some kind of, thing. I don't know. You could just make it, exciting and interesting.
You were cooking this up over at Island?
Yeah, and tense and visual. And then he gets sucked into a plot. And then, there could be the Chinatown conspiracy, whatever it is. I don't know what it was in this movie.
Because you left.
But yeah, it seemed to have something to do with Roger Rabbit, red car, or electric cars, or shuttles, or buses, or whatever.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep the letters to Aaron Brockovich?
Yes. That is the beating heart of this film.
I mean, why not just write the letters to Charlie Manson? I don't know how he factors into the movie, but I'm just saying, if it was something like that, I could give that a bone to. But of course, someone would think a pool is deep who's never swam in the ocean. I got to give this a woof.
Oh, with an asterisk on it.
Big ass asterisk.
All right. We got half a bone and a woof. Brother Justin, love and light.
Compared to that, yes.
Yes.
Lucas, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you know the part when there's a wedding ceremony and the priest asks if anyone has any objections. Have you ever stood up and like, actually,
I have not done that, but it crossed my mind maybe once.
Yeah.
Just you had that energy today.
Rewrite your vows.
You're just ready. You know what? This I did not enjoy most of it.
Right.
But it did pick up. I don't know what exactly
we got
happened.
crazier. That's what happened.
We got delusional enough to get on its wavelength. That happened too late to get it more than a bone.
Yeah.
But it did happen.
Yes.
Something did gel where the attempts at humor started to actually land. Now, I don't know if that's us experiencing someone figuring out screenwriting in real time where they didn't know what to do at the beginning, but by the end they kind of hit their stride.
Sure.
But I react really negatively to the tone of humor when no jokes land. Because there's just a hole there.
Yeah,
where there's a pause
to be happening.
where I'm supposed to be laughing, but the them talking funny or like making a reference isn't gonna cut it.
And you know Pine was cracking up on set. Like he was looking at playback and he was like, yes.
Oof.
Yeah.
He loved that look of himself in that hat.
He loved it. All of his hats.
All of
But
his
I mean,
hats.
as far as like indulgent kind of passion projects go, I feel like at least this was going for quirky and lightheartedness. There were a couple moments where it got a little serious. I don't know if there was a subplot where he was abandoned as a child that we figured out towards the end. That shot, I was allergic to that shot, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to learn that he fell out of a tree when he was a kid, and that's why he was
fell out
That's
of
why
a
everyone
tree.
was kind of like helping him out.
Yeah. It's just like he's raised by the denizens of this apartment complex.
What the fuck, man?
So bizarre, but you know, it also reminded me for some reason of Me, You Madness.
Yes.
And when a movie like that comes
listen
out,
to that one, folks.
when a movie like that comes out, people are like, "Oh, what is this fucking rich bitch think she can make movie?" Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of better than what we just saw. Honestly.
Me, You Madness is way better than this.
More special sauce, more to chew on.
Seriously, everybody go watch Me, You Madness. Check it out.
But what it was attempting to do, I think at least it is a little more than like the worst passion projects you could think of.
Yeah.
Like it didn't seem like anybody was trying to win a fucking Academy Award or anything.
No, sir.
You know what I mean?
No, sir.
So for that, I give it one bone.
One single bone from Justin. That is beaming, high beams, love and light with this movie. I don't think anybody listening to this will ever see. I don't think anybody that we know is ever going to watch this.
Mandy will watch it.
Mandy, sister Mandy.
No, don't do it, Mandy.
Do it.
Don't do it. Stand down.
Watch it alone.
Stand
fully
down.
Focused, fully
It's
sober.
worth it for Pine. He looks good. He's a handsome man.
Lodge Mistress, what are you going to give this?
Okay. So here's the thing. You know, I do have more love and light for this film than the rest of the car. Because it was so lovely to see Danny. It was so lovely
This is a
to
DeVito
see
bump.
Annette. Like, I do think they had chemistry, and I fully enjoyed the banter that they were doing. I nobody else had some issues with it. I was glad it was happening. It was more interesting.
It was more interesting
than what was going on with Pine.
Yes. We haven't even talked about Jennifer Jason Leigh. I don't know what was going on there.
Exactly. For me, it got off on the wrong foot because it seemed like it was like kind of like this quirky indie something. I didn't know if it was serious. I didn't know if it was a comedy. There were so many genres. It was like a mix of pool cocktails, red wine, pina coladas, beer. It was too much. It was
all poured in the
whiskey. It
pool.
was disgusting.
The old Wrong Island iced tea.
Yes.
It was a Wrong Island iced tea and it was gross. But when it hit that noir thing, beginning, it got better because it seemed to understand what it was trying to do a little more.
It looked like a plot was happening.
Yeah, and I liked that the tone was gelling a little better.
Like when he's running around hiding in bushes, taking pictures of stuff. That all
was way better. It was way better than
seems
him
like a movie.
Lying in the bed with Jason Leigh, having this like miscommunication, awkward post-sex conversation.
So awkward. That felt like some crusty 90s indie shit there.
It was not to my liking. But yeah, so and I
can't imagine it's to anyone's liking.
That's when I started to bail. That was when the G's were getting hard for me. I was like,
that's like 2 minutes in.
There was some cool lighting. There was some cool lighting. I like that how Pine. I know the abandoned child thing was weird again, tonally inappropriate. Yeah. But like the glint of light in his tears in that shot, I thought was really cool. I was into it. So, anyways,
again, like stills, you see him and you're like, oh, that looks fun.
There was some good lighting in this. Like there were some good things about this. Don't see it. But like there were good things. So I'm gonna give it 1.5 bones.
1.5.
Yeah.
Got an evolution.
It was not that bad for me. I didn't know what to expect, and I did laugh and I did enjoy some stuff in it.
There was one moment where you gasped.
Oh, I know. I fell right into their. He hit the bailiff, and I knew it was his friend, and so it really.
I was like, "Whoa, this movie is working."
I was locked in.
So the bones are pretty low, pretty shallow, floating in that shallow end. I think 1.5 is absolutely insane.
Really?
But I love that you gave it 1.5.
I enjoyed it. It was worth it.
You looked angry during a lot of it.
I got real restless.
Confused. I can't shake the Manson thing. It's just such a wall of gibberish. And I think that by the end, you just stop listening to, like, you tune out the words and you just hear kind of the blah, 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 blah,
yes,
blah, blah.
Yes.
And there's I don't want to call it musicality, but it's not even dialogue anymore. You're just surfing on the stuff that represents dialogue and plot. And you just kind of go with it. To Justin's point, he does get out and about. He goes to a couple weird restaurants and he gets around a little bit. But if he had gotten around even more, I think I could have just kind of chilled. But he pins you in, and you have to deal with some of the shit, like the Clancy Brown stuff. I'm just like, it's one-on-one. You have to deal with what's going on with the quote-unquote plot. And at the end of the day, like, I really, like, I can't imagine who I would recommend this to. You can't. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Go be Lucas and just go to Islands, have a pina colada.
Yes.
Let's not and say we did kind of thing.
I mean, that's what Poolman would do in the movie. He would leave this movie and go to Islands.
Would leave
100%.
So knowing that, I really want to give it a half bone, but I'm going to give it a Brother Ben Pool bump up to 1.
Wow.
Cool.
It's a Brother Ben bump, y'all.
One pool skimmer of a bone.
It's rickety. It's rickety, folks. Now, what do we think Bishke, if Bishke is in the Midwest right now, and I don't know if the Pool Man is going to make it to where he is.
Yeah.
So we might not get a review from him. But if we did, what do you think he would do? Because he's a trickster.
He's a trickster. You know what's crazy? I could see him giving this like 2.5 bones.
Yeah.
I could see him
going above the amorth line. You think that. You think he'd go low, but he's usually just like, no, I thought this. And
I could see him being Pool Man for Halloween.
Yeah.
So
for LodgeCon.
It's got two things going for it. He loves Los Angeles.
He does.
And there was no eye trauma.
No eye trauma, except for that bug-eyed tiger. All right, we got to settle the score.
It's time I settle the score.
Now, the boys in the back already know the score, so this is just for the lodge mistress herself.
Yes.
What do you think the 43 critics averaged out 43.
To? 38.
Cut that in half.
Ouch.
I thought maybe that somebody'd have some friends that would bump him up a little.
And now, what do you think the fewer than 50 verified audience reviews leave it at?
30%.
That's going to be a 22.
Okay.
So this shit is getting hit.
It's getting hit.
It's drowning.
And apparently it's a comedy.
It slipped on the concrete and cracked its head on the deep end on its way in.
Well, we knew this was going to be a tough one. Milster didn't know.
I didn't know.
But we knew.
I didn't know it was going to be that tough.
I didn't know it was going to be that tough either.
But we made it. We
made
survived.
it. Yeah. We did.
Yeah.
And
to swim again.
To swim again. What's going to be the next?
Someone please make a good pool-related movie for my sake.
It's gonna keep hitting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, the next one's gonna be a romance, and it's gonna be great.
You're gonna keep going under, and I don't know if you're gonna come up.
I'm drowning here for sure.
Should we just go see The Boys in the Boat right now? Does that count?
I think anything water related, and Lucas usually likes water stuff.
I do.
All right. Well, Brother Justin, Lodge Mistress, and Brother Poolman himself, thank you for taking this on with us.
We did
and if Bishke has a review, you'll hear it now. Love and light, y'all.
Love and light.
Love and light.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Lodge Master, Brother Bishke here. Sorry I couldn't make it to this film theatrically, but I did just stream this film called Poolman on VOD while doing data entry. Kudos to you boys for looking directly at this film for 100 minutes. Chris Pine joins a long list of actors who can't write or direct. The opening credits were fine, but the film takes an immediate pool plunge with terrible music, painfully unfunny dialogue, and Pine's annoying enthusiasm that drives me mad throughout the film. He seems to think he's Joaquin Phoenix in Inherent Vice, but he's much, much worse, and that film's not even very good. To use a Lucasism, this film makes Under the Silver Lake look like Citizen Kane. Pine seems to have called in all the favors with a very good cast, but it's dead on arrival for me for having a few disparate ideas that never come together, and a shout out to NPR's Lakshmi Singh. This film gets the old Roger Ebert Memorial half bone.
I hated this movie.
Here's to hoping Pine retires from directing and acts in some sequels to A Wrinkle in Time. The books have been written. Let's do this, Oprah. Love and light to you all. Peace.
Things about this. Don't see it.